are you waiting for? It's Christmas. Take him to church.
Well, it's December, so let's see what a billionaire does for Christmas. Here's Iron Man 3.
Like Christmas, but with more me. Let's track this from the beginning.
So it was New Year's Eve in 1999, and Tony blows off Jensen after making a speech.
Perhaps another time? We met once, you know.
Don't remember.
No, you wouldn't.
To go upstairs with this girl Maya. In the elevator, this guy who looks like he smells like room temperature bologna pitches him on his company, but because he doesn't like being handed things, she takes the card. He tells Killian that he'll meet him on the roof in 5 minutes.
I'm titillated by the notion of working with you.
But goes to look at Maya's research instead.
I can see my research, but I'm not going to show you my town.
She's figured out how to make plants repair themselves and wants to be able to apply it to people, but there's a problem with this process.
Come on. She was just talking about it. What just happened?
But no one but Happy heard the explosion over the fireworks, so he's the only one that reacts to it.
I'm gonna start again.
So in present day, Tony's working on a new suit.
What is that, like Mark 15?
Yeah, something like that.
But it's not going so well. Well, some guy takes over the TV stations and admits that he's been doing some terrorist activities.
You know who I am.
My name's Trevor Slattery.
This is the Mandarin?
I know, it's embarrassing.
It tested well with focus groups, all right?
And the president retaliates by giving War Machine a paint job.
It's Iron Patriot now.
That's way cooler.
No, it's not.
Tony meets up with Rhodey to make fun of him and have a panic attack.
Which happens. No need to be a pussy about it.
Well, that guy Killian shows up to Pepper's office to show her his brain.
There's one.
He's showing her his big brain, and she likes it.
And he's much better looking now, but you should be able to tell that there's something off with this guy because he's not wearing socks.
Is that important?
Somewhat.
Yeah, a little bit.
He thinks that he can improve humans because they have holes that he can put stuff in.
He used to ask me out all the time, so it's a little awkward.
Pepper turns him down and goes home to a giant rabbit. Well, Pepper gets mad at Tony because he sent a suit to have date night with her. He saves it by telling her that he can't sleep because he's worried he can't protect her. Then he almost kills her in her sleep by having a nightmare.
Was it a dream where you see yourself standing in sort of sun god robes on a pyramid with 1,000 naked women screaming and throwing little pickles at you?
Well, Happy thought there was something off about Killian's friend, so he follows him and watches him as he passes off a briefcase to some guy. He bumps into the guy and he spills the briefcase. He picks up what he thinks is drugs and immediately tells Savin, the creepy friend, that he has proof that he's dirty.
And they knew about the drugs.
What did they say? They get you off them?
Said they'd give me more.
Well, Happy finds out the hard way that he's outmatched.
The human element of human resources is our biggest point of vulnerability. We should start phasing it out immediately.
The other guy is inhaling the stuff, and he starts glowing and explodes.
Who's the hot mess now?
Well, Happy survives because Savin threw him so far,
Thank you.
but the dog tags of the guy that blew up are right next to him.
Clearly somebody's trying to hide something.
So now they have a lead. Savin survived the blast too, and enjoys a piece of gum to celebrate. Well, he's a litter bug, so we don't like him. Well, the Mandarin goes back on TV and takes credit for the bombing.
I did that.
Well, Tony goes on the news and tells the Mandarin where he lives and to come and fight him.
I'll leave the door unlocked.
He's afraid he can't protect her, so he invites a terrorist to the house?
That is correct.
Does he at least add extra security?
He literally does nothing extra to be safe. In fact, he does less than normal. People can just come up and ring the doorbell.
Are we still at Ding Dong? We're supposed to be on total security lockdown. Come on, I threatened a terrorist. Who is that?
Well, Maya shows up to talk to Tony, but seems inconvenienced by a missile heading towards the house.
Is that normal? Sadly,
Yes, this is normal.
It hits, and Tony saves Pepper by putting a suit on her, and she returns the favor.
I got you.
I got you first.
Pepper saves Maya as Tony's looking for a way out.
I've also prepared a safety briefing for you to entirely ignore.
Well, he suits up and takes out one of the helicopters with a piano. Then he blasts the second one, but the third one takes out the rest of the house.
Didn't think it could get any worse.
He gets trapped underwater.
Jarvis, don't leave me, buddy. Not a good idea. Whatever. That's actually a good idea.
And Jarvis gives him a hand out. He then flies out of the water without anybody seeing him and goes to Tennessee.
So Pepper or the helicopter didn't see him come out?
No, and neither did any of the news helicopters that would have been there covering this because they were already at Tony's house waiting for him to die.
Lots of pageantry going on here. Lots of theater.
But anyway, he wakes up in Tennessee because Jarvis is malfunctioning.
I actually think I need to sleep now, sir.
But I'm not sure if it's because the suit is a prototype or if it's because the server is underwater. but he previously made a flight plan for Tony to end up there because another army guy blew up and he wanted to find out why. Well, his suit is out of power, so he has to drag it to a garage to fix it up. The owner, Harley, doesn't take kindly to him intruding and threatens to shoot him.
And now you're out of ammo.
He also doesn't recognize him from the newspaper he's holding.
And you're...
The mechanic, Tony.
Hours later, Pepper is still at what's left of the house, and she gets a message from Tony.
You almost bought it, didn't you? Not a girl. Busted. Did I miss something? We'll talk about it over dinner. Till then, keep your trap shut and stay connected to the telephone, because if I call, you better pick up.
Maya tells her that she thinks Killian is working for the Mandarin.
I didn't know you and the master were gonna blow the place up.
Tony and Harley go to the bomb site where Tony notices that there are 6 victims, but only 5 shadows. And I guess the 6th victim couldn't have been on one of the other 2 walls that were destroyed, but, you know.
Who asked you?
He wants to see the guy's mom, so he goes to a bar to talk to her. In a file, he sees that the other guy that blew up is in it. A woman pretending to be Homeland Security tries to arrest Tony, but the town sheriff interferes. Then she gets all glowy and attacks everyone.
Crazy, huh? Yeah.
Tony manages to make a bomb of his own and hides behind a refrigerator door for safety. And of course, it's common knowledge that after 1950, all refrigerator doors are built to withstand a nuclear blast.
Why?
Savin tries to drown Tony and kidnaps Harley.
Hey, kid. What would you like for Christmas?
Harley distracts him and Tony blasts him. But he gets back up just as the Mandarin goes on the air. He has a man named Tom hostage and threatens to shoot him on air if the president doesn't call him.
I'm gonna shoot him in the head.
The president calls, but he still shoots him.
Oh, honestly, I wasn't on location for half of this stuff. When I was, it was movie magic, love.
Tony sees that Killian was behind the war machinery branding,
I see that because it's on your t-shirt.
and he needs to hack his files.
It's not the 80s. Nobody says hack anymore.
And to do this, Tony recruits this AV tech to help him. And if Coulson was a 3 on the fanboy scale,
I watched you while you were sleeping.
this guy's definitely a lot higher.
Mom, I need to call you back. Something magical is happening.
I don't know if you could tell, but I have, like, patterned my whole look after you. I had them do it off a doll that I made.
He finds some videos of Killian giving amputees a formula that could regrow their limbs, but the downside is, if your body can't handle it, you blow up.
It's a glitch in my work.
Killian and Maya kidnap Pepper, and I guess you can call this fighting back?
Pepper.
I need Stark. He just lacked a decent incentive. Now he has one.
And some lady in a sweatshop kidnaps Rhodey.
Ever have a chick straddling you and you look up and suddenly she's glowing from the inside out, kind of a bright orange?
Yeah, I've had that.
Jarvis tracks the Mandarin to a place in Miami, but the suit isn't ready for him to use, so he has a panic attack over it.
God, what do we do?
Harley calms him down and tells him to MacGyver it.
I do what I know. I tinker.
Tony sneaks into the mansion and finds the Mandarin.
You want something? Take it. Although the guns are all fake, because those wankers wouldn't trust me with the real ones.
But it turns out he's just some turd named Trevor.
Hey, it's complicated.
He tells him that he's an actor,
They approached me about the role.
and Killian hired him to take credit for all the explosions.
Accidental explosions. I wouldn't go in there for 20 minutes.
So if they won't let him have real guns, is that guy Tom actually dead?
That's manipulative. I don't want to talk about it.
Tony turns around to see Savin, and he knocks him out.
Well, I panicked, but then I handled it.
Killian tells Tony that he injected Pepper with extremus, and she might not be able to handle it. They want Tony to work with them to fix the issue, and they think that having him save Pepper would be the right motivation. He resists a little bit, and Killian gets mad. It seems like he's taken extremus too. Maya then stupidly injects herself with it, and Killian shoots her.
If I die, Killian, what happens to your soldiers? What happens to your product?
They're trying to get Rhodey out of the suit, so they turn up the heat. He comes out fighting, but Killian has a secret.
Okay.
Tony's tied up to a bed frame, and he calls for a suit, but he's having some problems.
Trust me, you're going to be in a puddle of blood on the ground in 5, 4, 3, come on! 2!
How did we get this shift?
And these guards really underestimate the fact that they're holding Tony Stark, one of the smartest guys in the world, and I'm pretty sure he can get out of zip ties.
Told you.
He gets enough of the suit to beat up the bad guys guarding him, but the rest of the suit isn't coming.
Where's the wrist?
Honestly, I hate working here. They are so weird.
Well, Harley took Tony's advice
Guard the suit.
and locked the suit in the shed, but unfortunately it can't get out. The suit banging against the door alerted him, so he could come and open it. The rest of the suit finally shows up,
Better late than never.
and Rhodey takes out some bad guys too. The War Machine suit flies off, but Iron Man can't fly yet.
Crap.
So Tony and Rhodey question Trevor about their plans.
Hey, if you're here to arrest me, there's some people I'd like to roll on.
He tells him it has something to do with the vice president.
Tony!
They call the vice president, but it turns out he's in on the plan.
Okay, I'm on it. I'll have security lock it down.
The president salutes the Iron Patriot as he boards, but it's Savin, and he starts attacking all the Secret Service agents on board to get to the president. But I'm not sure why he doesn't do it while he's just standing right in front of him. He blows a hole in the back of the plane, and all the staff members fly out. Iron Man takes out Savin, and then goes after the crew. Tony saves them all by electrocuting them.
What's questionable about electricity?
But not before fat shaming them.
It's a chunky monkey, let's get him.
And then trying to drown them. After patting himself on the back,
I'm the best.
he gets hit by a truck, and we find out that Tony was on a boat piloting the suit remotely.
Give me some good news, man.
I think they all made it.
Thank God.
Yeah, but I missed the president.
Well, it seems they put the president in the Iron Patriot suit, and had it fly to Killian.
If they have control over it, why didn't they just open it when Rhodey was in it?
Well, they were just in charge of the rebranding, which means some PR work and a paint job. I'm not sure why they'd have any control over the computer systems.
So 2 bad guys have had control over War Machine because the government is stupid?
Well, they, shut up. They have him strung up, and they're going to publicly execute him on TV. Tony and Rhodey sneak aboard the ship where they're holding the president, and we can see that Tony really depends on technology to help him.
You can't hit a boat this distance.
Well, apparently everybody who's ever taken extremus is on the ship too, and they all have a bit of an attitude problem and try to attack him. But luckily, Tony called all of his suits for backup. He flies Rhodey over to the president.
Yes, you're free. If you weren't before.
And he takes him to safety while Tony cleans up the rest of the mess. Well, it's a good thing he made so many suits, because if he just had one, Killian would have easily whooped his butt, because he keeps breaking them. Every time he gets the upper hand on Killian,
Come on!
he just ends up turning around and breaking that suit too.
He's in pain. He's been injured. Leave him alone.
Well, Pepper's in danger, and he makes promises he can't keep.
You gotta let go! I'll catch you, I promise!
Well, Pepper falls into the fire, and Tony's like,
You walked right into this one. I've dated hotter chicks than you.
well, as they fight, it seems that Killian's forgotten something.
You breathe fire?
Yeah, sorry, boss. I can only use it once.
Well, just as Tony thinks all hope is lost, Mark 42 comes in.
I'm pleased to announce the imminent arrival of your bouncing, badass baby brother.
And almost saves the day. Well, he ends up using it on Killian and blows him up, but he's not dead, and he's about to kill Tony. But Pepper comes up behind Killian and hits him with a stick.
So she's naked?
Why would she be... Oh, right, because of her falling into a giant ball of fire. Yeah, apparently Extremis not only makes you fireproof, but it also makes your clothes fireproof, too.
What's actually more embarrassing than that?
But wait, Killian burns his own shirt off, so maybe it's optional?
Nothing fancy.
So was she hiding behind something?
No, there was nowhere for her to hide, and Tony and Killian would have easily seen her coming up, especially with the giant pipe.
That came out of nowhere. Wow.
Well, Tony lost communication with Jarvis, and one of the Iron Man suits is coming after her, but she ends up destroying it, which is kind of something she's always wanted to do anyway.
What?
Pepper puts on an Iron Man gauntlet and throws another bomb at Killian and blasts it. This time he actually blows up. But I'm not sure why a bomb that was completely encasing him wouldn't have killed him, but this little stick did.
Valid point.
Well, now that is an appropriate question.
Well, as a Christmas present to Pepper,
Screwed, it's Christmas.
he decides to blow up all the Iron Man suits.
Well, hey, did you see your Christmas present?
Yes, I did. I don't know how I could have missed that Christmas present.
Tony goes back to his lab and figures out how to reverse Extremis. He then has surgery to get all the shrapnel removed from his chest, so he doesn't need the arc reactor anymore. Well, some bad television brings Happy out of his coma, and he immediately starts hitting on a nurse.
You can take away my house, all my tricks and toys. One thing you can't take away, I am Iron Man. I'm just a man in a can.
What does a billionaire give you for Christmas?
Custom rabbit?
I was so close to having her perfect.
She was already perfect.
You still haven't even
told me you liked it.
I don't like
asked
it.
you 3... you don't like it? Blonde with a big rack. It's my favorite kind, winning combo.
This is a new level of lame.
It's a big bunny. Relax about it.
So now you're just gonna leave me here?
Without subscribing?
Wait, you're guilt tripping me, aren't you?
It's worth a shot.
Can you feel that? We're done here.